Ross here.
WTF!
Hello, I'm Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasant, and I am the resurrection of dead memes. And of course, because I'm stood here wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt, wearing a microphone under that Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt, it's that bastard time we once again where I take a look at all the WTF moments from an episode of WWE SmackDown Live. And of course, as always with these episodes of SmackDown and Raw that take place in England, this one was taped, therefore they've had plenty of time to edit out all the mistakes, and there should be no WTF moments. Thank God they don't. And we start with the fact that we were watching a taped episode of SmackDown. Who would Adam and Eve it, eh? What a novel concept. And now we move on to all of the headlines from the sheets that started this week's episode of SmackDown Live. I'll give you a second to read that just there, and I'll finish off that headline just there by saying ... ellipsis ting. Was not AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Lady Balls and her man balls. Who on earth are they trying to fool with this nonsense, man? Because it was the first time the WWE Championship revolved around a set of cock and bollocks like the Earth orbits the Sun. Insert flat Earth jokes here. It's a bit harsh on AJ, isn't it? It's not as if this is the third round of the FA Cup and some minnow has toppled some giant from the Premier League. It's AJ pissing Styles we're talking about here. He is the best on this earth, flat all round. Christ almighty me, my NCTJ qualification and status as world-class journalist. What's old in it? I'll come in handy here as I rewrite all of these headlines from the start of last night's show. Next up we have WWE's Greatest Royal Rumble had it all. Apart from Sami Zayn, women, and your boy Finn Balor's Balor Club for Everybody t-shirts. Including controversy, the controversy being of course all the stuff that the Greatest Royal Rumble did not have, which makes that headline there more of a lie than Byron Saxton's life. Well done Bleacher Report, given all of this huge fake news. That's how that orange bloke does it, isn't it? I've got to make that there a WTF moment because it's true. Aye, but not the dream match you're hitting at with a headline like that. That match at Backlash, of course, was like when you're dreaming about something really nice, something really nicer is about to happen, and all of a sudden your mother bursts through the door and kicks you in the bollocks to wake you up before that nicer thing happens. Or something like that. He's a 72-year-old man, for Christ's sake, and out the back of the gym. Are you sure when I was at school that was some kind of euphemism? Big Cass beating up little people a little bit more than he was told to. Allegedly. Not attempting to block a yes lock at Backlash 2018, meaning that Daniel Bryan had to move his arm into position. Definitely. And finally on SmackDown Live last night, he arrived roughly half an hour after Daniel Bryan's pause in his dialogue gave him his cue to come out. Mouse looking numpty. And then Big Ass went full mouse on all of our asses by speaking like Mickey Mouse when he was going on about 75 minutes, 75 minutes, 75 minutes, 75 minutes. It was 76, you numpty. But it's alright, Big Ass, of course, because you don't work for a company that makes a big deal out of these statistics now, are you? You are. And then we have Big Ass claiming that Daniel Bryan should just stick to being a stay-at-home dad and allow Brie Bella to wear the pants in the family. Weird thing to say when you're wearing no pants yourself, don't you think, Mickey? WWE, you set of numpties, or you set of geniuses, I'll let you decide at home. It wouldn't have been dark and outland in town during the entire course of SmackDown Live being taped, so why on earth is that dark there? Now, of course, one of two things has happened here. WWE have just thought themselves, bollocks to it, cocks out, we don't care, let's just put a random piece of footage in. Or, of course, they've gone into the future, filmed a little bit of London 10, 2 hours after SmackDown Live went off the air, come back into the present and inserted that footage into SmackDown Live. You decide, but I think it's the former, of course, because of reasons. Now get this right, the Bludgeon Brothers, that is the Bludgeon Brothers, claimed that family is for the weak. Takes one to know one, I suppose. Shit! Now, of course, if you didn't get that reference, let me explain to you that Paige is a Poundland Jamie Vardy, while Jamie Vardy famously says chat poo, get banged. Paige has tattooed on her hands, chat poo, get bit. Poo. Ah. Now, as my bane spirit animal does his best Undertaker impersonation there, aimed in English as being heelish once again as he besmirches London 10, even though I agree with everything he says because the North is better than the South. And then, because he's been so confused in recent months by Aiden's heel tactics, then face tactics, then heel tactics, then face tactics, then heel tactics, then face tactics, Rusev calls the Rolling Stones a heelish overrated. Don't listen to him, man. His mind's all messed up. Lemony Snicket's erratic behaviour of the past few months has got his mind in the twist. Rusev, man, he didn't mean it. The Isle of Staten, your esteemed SmackDown champion of all women. I mean, I've heard of jet lag, lads, but Matt Hardy looks absolutely dreadful there. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Here we have some royal nonsense that I do not care about, since those selfish bastards are not giving us a bank holiday for that royal wedding this weekend. When I come into power, there'll be many bank holidays, but I'll rename them wank holidays for all the wank pheasants.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Stiff Tom Phillips makes a big deal of how Asuka is the owner of a 900 and something day streak, and Corey Graves replies as to say, what? She lost it? What are you talking about? Aye, but she still holds the streak, doesn't she, Corey? You can't just take it away from her as if it never existed, you plum. That's what they were saying in London, that, you plum. That live should say lived. Good on you for rubbing it in, you pricks. I follow the pair of them on the gram. I saw when Sonya, maybe? I couldn't really see what was going on for all the tears in my eyes. Moved out, of course, it was the hardest breakup we've witnessed in the wrestling world since John and Nikki. Maybe. I still don't quite believe it's real. Maybe. And next up we have Byron Saxon, who claims that Becky Lynch has been frustrated with her career progression on SmackDown Live over the past few weeks. Weeks, Byron? Are you sure, pal? That woman's been shafted more times than AJ Styles' cock has since she lost that SmackDown Live Women's Championship, and that happened bare time ago, fam. Blood clot ting. That's how the Cockneys speak, apparently. But speaking about Becky Lynch, I'm going to turn hack journalist on your arse by claiming that since she's recently single and John Cena's recently single, they are clearly dating because she called that match last night like John Cena would at his pomp. I heard everything, but it's a shame, of course, that Kevin Dunn wouldn't be able to recognise what she was saying, since his teeth are racist towards the Irish. If they weren't, of course, he would have muted the ring microphone, wouldn't he? So during Samoa Joe's promo, we heard what sounded like Corey Graves let out a massive yep, and that's not because he's a massive fan of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Of course it was because dun 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 dun. Of course, because he's racist towards the Irish, Kevin Dunn's teeth started chattering with rage when he heard Becky Lynch's Irish accent. That chattering then spread throughout his body. Kevin Dunn couldn't control what was going on. He didn't have a clue what to do. Then all of a sudden, one of his flailing limbs hit the switch that unmuted Corey Graves' microphone. I heard that direct from the horse's mouth. Really? Would you really call a double count out and a double stoppage successfully defending your WWE Championship? Of course you wouldn't. I mean, you might if you're a heel, but AJ Styles isn't a heel, so why does that say that there? And this was the moment during the main event that the shaking from earlier in the show got too much for Kevin Dunn's teeth, and he exploded. His guts and teeth knocking the lever to send that show into greyness. Rest in peace, Kevin Dunn. Thank God this is over. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com. Thank you for joining me, sticking through this, and being a sexual wankfest. And follow me on the Twitter machine at Ross on Wrestling. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you can afford to give us will be greatly appreciated, and we'll love you a long time. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us in every form of social media apart from a live jamming guitar session.